Hello. Um, on the whistle, not really. It's not really, is it? The whistle was quite a long time ago, and there was no video after the West Ham match. But the reason for that is that I'm currently in Edinburgh at the Edinburgh Festival, performing some live comedy, which is great fun. But it means that I have to run around a lot. I have to go and watch Arsenal games in bars and then disappear very quickly in order to do my show. So it's been hard to get the time to do these videos, but here we are. And here we are, 2 games into the Premier League season, a defeat and a win. The first game, so dispiriting, obviously, after all the hype over the summer, and I think the understandable optimism that was felt among the fans. It was very deflating to then lose on the opening day, especially with Petr Cech at fault, the guy who was supposed to be the big solution, looking a little bit like the big problem. But we put things right against Palace, a much improved display. I think putting Santi Cazorla back into the central midfield really made a massive difference. Everybody will talk about Ozil after the game, who was outstanding, but I think he was helped enormously by the fact that he had Cazorla behind him there, feeding him. He's so good at distributing from the base of the midfield. And I think that that's the way it should be. It feels like every season Arsene Wenger slightly looks to reinvent the team. Last year it was the 4-1-4-1 with Jack Wilshere and Aaron Ramsey paired and Mesut Ozil out wide, and it didn't work at all. And after a few weeks he went back to 4-2-3-1. This season he started with Cazorla wide, Ramsey and alongside Coquelin. At least he seems to have corrected the mistake very quickly within the space of one game, because it wasn't broke, it didn't require fixing, and it should have been left untinkered with. And I think people worry about playing Aaron Ramsey wide right, but look at Chelsea. Willian plays wide right for them. Is he a pure winger? Not necessarily. I think he'd rather be in field as a number 10. I think Alexis Sanchez, he plays left wing for Arsenal. If you asked him, he'd probably rather be playing through the middle too. I don't see why Ramsey is a special case. I think playing him right side makes an awful lot of sense. Defensively, he's very responsible. He brings enormous physicality to the role. I think if you've got Hector Bellerin in the team, you've got someone there who can offer something on the overlap. So even though Ramsey's not a pure winger, you don't really lose that wide threat because Bellerin's behind him. And he's got that penetrative running where he can get beyond Olivier Giroud, get into the penalty box. Freddie Ljungberg-esque knack of turning up at the right time. I think once his finishing settles down, he should be on course for a 15-goal season, really, Aaron Ramsey, with the ability that he's got. Anyway, 2 games in, we're above Chelsea in the league. Who would have thought that after the opening weekend? And I think, by reverting to the style of play that served us so well in the second half of last season, we're taking a positive step. Liverpool next, that will be a real test because, the last 2 games have been tricky, London derbies, few teething problems in terms of team selection, but Liverpool have got, a number of exciting new players in the side, and they're always tough opposition. So we might be able to make a better gauge then. But progress at Palace, certainly, and progress by reversion to something that we already knew. I think Cazorla's got to stay in the middle now. And Aaron will just have to make the best of things out on the right. Okay, let's leave it there. I'll speak to you next week.